Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the reunion part 2. This reunion so far has been really good. It's been really good. And this particular portion, or part 2 I should say, was really good and necessary. The whole, and I felt like we ain't spent enough time on the colorism topic. But the fact that we addressed it again, I appreciated it. But anyway, picking up on Wendy and Candace kind of tag teaming Giselle, for her bullshit. She tries to say that Andy and Candace, that everybody's playing semantics. And it's like, yeah, girl, that's exactly what this is. That's what you're doing. You're playing semantics. Like, you felt uncomfortable, but to say that Chris made you feel uncomfortable, no, Chris didn't make you feel uncomfortable. And if he did, what did he do? Nothing. So Chris didn't make you feel uncomfortable. Just say, I'm uncomfortable being in a room alone with a married man. Period. That doesn't single Chris out when you say that. Because that's a blanket statement. Most women feel that way. But the fact that you are singling him out, and the fact that you tried to make it seem like he was a sneaky link, like he was trying to see like you were with it, girl, that tells a different tale. So you can't sit up here and make it seem like what you did was, like you wasn't coming from a place of malice. Anyway, she then tries to say that it was Candace that blew it all out of proportion. And we're like, no, you blew it out of proportion. When you tried to sit down with everybody and tell them how uncomfortable Chris made you feel. That was you. Mia was chiming in too. With her 2 cents. Girl, you just need to be quiet. Candace was like, shut up. Girl, just shut up. Because Ain't nobody even talking to you. Nobody asked you to say nothing. Just sit back and eat your food. They flip to Sesame Street. We go down Sesame Street to Deborah. And the fact that, she had all these things to say and production showed that she was lying. Ashley, what you got to say about that? Excuse me. Ashley says that she was surprised because Deborah has always been truthful with her. And she says that Deborah says they edited Chris's mouth. His mouth and the words ain't line up. They edited it. Okay, girl. Deborah, she said Deborah's sticking to that story. Deborah, you can stick to whatever story you want. You lied on that man. Because you thought you was gonna get you a moment. No. Not so. What about, damn it, this always happens. Sorry guys. I moved my notes and then it moved all the way down to a whole nother note. Anyway, we get to this Happy Eddie bullshit, and what about that reach? And Wendy is just like, the men in this group can't even be cordial or friendly or pleasant around these women because they will run with it. They're gonna reach and they're gonna run with it and go with whatever story they want to go with. And so really these men can't even, they afraid to even talk to the other women on the cast because somebody's gonna try to make it out to be something else. And so that's where she at with that. All right, Candace, so we got to talk about this IG live. And Andy wants to make note that Candace, although she said what she said, she also said a lot of nice things about Robin and her business. And so why would you just pull the pill out knowing that she said nice stuff about you? So you were being messy. You were being messy. You were trying to be shady. Like you was trying to be cute. Robin says that she was sent the clip, not the entire thing. And so she didn't see the whole live. She just doesn't understand why Candace was so upset. Why are you so upset that I'm playing your words back for the group? And Candace has to explain that, girl, we're friends and you can call me on my phone if you got a problem with something I say. You don't embarrass me in front of the group and call me out in front of the group knowing that these folks don't fuck with me like that. That's the point, Robin. And Robin knows that. Both Robin and Giselle love to play dumb. I think they think it works for them if they just pretend to not know what's going on. If they play oblivious to everything, then maybe everybody will believe we didn't know. Girl, you knew. Robin also says that you talk about, you get mad because things are said on camera, but it's like we have to say everything on camera. What do you mean? We have to do that. We have to say everything on camera. Everything we do should be done on camera. And so that's funny, production says. And so they flip to Robin on Watch What Happens Live, and she's saying the exact opposite, Now her personal life doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the group, and she shouldn't have to divulge that. Girl, cute. Candace, she's asked about, her loyalty to Robin and how you gonna say Robin is the most loyal when you got Wendy sitting over there. And Candace is like, I don't like that y'all keep doing this. She says she can be girlfriends with more than one person on the cast, And she and Robin have known each other longer than she and Wendy. And Robin has always been a friend to her. So that's why she's loyal to her. But, it shouldn't be a competition thing about who's friends with who's closer to who's not close to who. Which is true. That's very petty, very high school. That a viewer would even take it that far. Like that lady can have more than one friend on the cast. She can have more than one friend on the cast. We know Candace to know Robin a lot longer than she's known Wendy. That's just what it is. Wendy says that it doesn't bother her, but it is ironic that you would say Robin is the most loyal, and then she turns around and pulls out the JBL speaker and tells everybody what you said. So it's just funny that you call her the most loyal. But, she gonna let her cook. Robin chimes in saying, again, it's not a competition. Now it ain't a competition. Because we talking about what you did to Candace and how disloyal that was of you. They break for lunch, The husbands are the husbands are dressed, they're ready. They're ready to just come out and do their segment. When we come back, we do Giselle's package. Ain't much to show. They talk about her live shows. Karen, so where'd you really get the idea? Karen said she got it from Carol Burnett. First it was Wendy Williams. Now it's Carol Burnett. Carol Burnett. Karen said, okay, Andy, with your shade. Karen say, listen, I'm sticking to what I said, okay? I did the live shows too, and I did it better. Period. That's what it is. She said it's a variety show. So, hey, she doing what she doing. They was doing what they doing. She said the two do not compare. Giselle gets a question about her hysterectomy. And she says that it was the first time that she received this much support, from women out there in the world. And Candace is over there like, because it's the first time you've shown a human moment. I'm with you on that. Lady, you don't show us moments where we can empathize with you, where we can sympathize, or where it resonates. No, never. You don't give us that. So what you give is what you get in return. That's just what it is. And so you wanted to show us a little bit of your life. There are a plethora of women dealing with that, going through that, know somebody that went through it. And so you could have been appealing to the masses, but instead you just want to be evil and vindictive and malicious. You just want to do that kind of stuff. So that's what you want. Candace adds, not Candace, excuse me. She shares that the surgery was very traumatic, and she's about to cry. And she quickly draws them tears back, and we'll talk about it later. Andy said, no, we're going to talk about it right now. You're going to dive into this right now. And so she shares, that how traumatic it was, and how her daughters really thought that they were going to lose their mom because they didn't get any, they weren't receiving the updates that they should have. It was supposed to be a 3.5 hour surgery. It turned out to be 8.5 hours. She spent the night. She initially told them she wouldn't be spending the night. So they were worried about their mom. We understand. We understand. And I'm very happy that nothing happened to her. I'm happy that she had a speedy recovery, and that she's doing well. We are happy. We are happy to hear it. Love to see it. And who knew that she had a sister? Where your sister been? Your sister could have came around there and filmed with you. Like, bring somebody in that's gonna share a little bit. Talking about her sister. Well, who is this sister? We don't know your sister. I didn't even know she had a sister. I mean, how you got a sister and this is how you treat other sisters? It's not sisterly. It's just not. Anyway, Andy flips the script, and he says, and it seems like there's a lot you won't talk about, but you have a different expectation for everybody else. And she says, that's not true. Oh, but it is. It is. She says that I'm definitely not going to sit with people that I don't like and talk about my health concerns. Absolutely not. Girl, we didn't ask you to film with Wendy and talk about your hysterectomy. It was a few people that you could have sat down with. You could have filmed with Robin. You could have had Robin come with you to a doctor's appointment. If you don't want to share your personal business with people. Point at Wendy, all passive aggressive, like, Wendy, shut up. The back of your hand. Then what? Because I'm one of them people. Don't put your hand in my face, in my direction with all of that. Because doing this kind of stuff come with a little bit of negative energy. It's a little bit of too much. It's a little too much negativity coming my way for no reason. That's a little bit too much. Wendy pointing back, I don't like you either, sweetie. They really be thinking they gonna chump her off or something. Child, please. Anyway, they all agree that she a bully. That's just what she is. She a bully, and she absolutely expects for everybody else to tell them her business. Andy, he moves on to her love life. Where's Steve? She says she sees Steve from time to time when Steve come into town. She don't be calling him to come to town, no. But if he come around there, she'll go on a date with him. Andy asked about this little man she with. He's 16 years her junior. He's 36. He my age. I would never, Giselle. If I was a man, or as a woman, absolutely not. I was grossed out. Is it just me? I was grossed out. And it ain't even the age difference. It's not even that. It's just Giselle. Giselle just don't look like. She just don't look like MILF material for me. Andy asked about this little man. So you saw him last night? She says, I did. He give you a little reunion prep, and she says they prepped. Girl, next time that's the stuff you keep from us, okay? That's the stuff we don't really care about. She says next season she gonna show him around if he's still on the roster. Wendy's package. So her highlight was really the drink being thrown, but Andy starts with her health. She's doing much better. She's drinking her water and minding her business. When it came to the restaurant business, she says that she sought both Ashley and Candace out for their, professional advice on that, and they both tried to talk her out of it. Ashley thinks that, we tried to talk her out of it, but it was good that she, sought the help of somebody that's in that industry, Peter. And since we mentioned Peter, Andy asked Mia what's her relationship to Peter, and she what do you mean by that, girl? What is the extent of y'all's relationship? Eddie asked if she and G was sleeping with Peter's girlfriend. She tried to say it wasn't Peter's girlfriend. It was a situation, and at the time they had a thing. And girl, now you backpedaling. We just don't believe nothing you say. Andy wants to know why she threw the drink on Wendy. It wasn't warranted, And he tells her, it looked like you were making an issue where there wasn't an issue. Something that was between Peter and Wendy, you turned into a big old situation, and we want to know why. We want to know why. She says that she didn't intend on arguing with Wendy. She was talking business, and Wendy wanted to talk about threesomes. No, girl. No. No. Candace was like, all of what she gave, she only gave after you threw that drink. What did she say that triggered you to throw a drink? She can't even muster it up because she know that she flew off the handle a little too soon. Like, I don't know why you throwing drinks. What you throwing drinks for? You doing a lot. You were triggered. And we think that it was because Peter, you think Peter your man. You think Peter your man or something. Wendy, she gets, serious, and she just says, you assaulted me, period. And it's fuck you forever. That's just what it is. Me ain't gonna say, well, do you want to talk about the fact that you were sleeping with Peter? Do you want to talk about that? Is that the real reason you're upset? Everybody was like, girl. Everybody except, Robin and Giselle, what? She was? They can't wait for some negativity to be thrown at Wendy. Both of y'all need Jesus. Y'all need a healing. Like, you need some light in your life because you just too dark. You operate in too much dark energy. I need you to go to somebody's church house, therapy session. I mean, they both need it all. They need the works. They need the self-help works because they just, terrible people. Just horrible human beings with the way that they move in this group. It really is. It's terrible. Nobody believes it though. Candace like, y'all just can't be saying whatever comes to your head because you can't think of anything else to say. Like, you just can't do that. We're not buying that. Who told you that, Mia? Mia said she saw it on the cameras that they had dinner. Wendy didn't deny having dinner. She's like, yeah, we had dinner to discuss the business. What are you talking about? Oh, y'all had more than the dinner. Y'all did more than the dinner. Girl, we don't believe you. Talking about you saw it on the cameras. Next time, bring it with you. You ain't seen nothing. Wendy was like, girl, you're fucking for lobster. She talking about I don't deny it. And she says, yeah, and that's fine, but we don't all do that. We're not all doing that. All right, so we get on Robin. How can you call Wendy antagonistic after a drink was thrown in her face? Robin says, first of all, I don't know how I would react if the drink was thrown in my face. And it was like, I do. We saw that umbrella scene. We remember. We know how you would act. And we play it. She gonna say, and well, everyone has a right to react the way that they want to, that they want to react in those types of situations. However, she didn't want to see them fight. You didn't. That's not why you pulled out your phone and had it all in Wendy's face, calling her antagonistic. Karen's like, so why you say, then if y'all not going to fight, then shut up. So she got an explanation for that as well, because Robin always has an answer for everything. And she really just says the same shit, but flips it around a little bit. It don't change nothing, girl. It don't change nothing. You were barking up the wrong tree. You had all that for me when you should have been giving all of that to Mia, the person that actually got physical, not me. They do play a little clip of Robin telling Wendy, don't fight or nothing like that, and don't antagonize. Don't if you're not gonna fight, if you don't want to fight, don't antagonize, because what if she get up and hit you in the face? And then we're gonna have to fight. That's just what it's gonna be. But still, I'm not gonna be wrong for defending myself. Just like Wendy would have been wrong for defending herself if she just decided to slap Mia for throwing the drink in her face. We would have still, me. I would have still been on Wendy's side. So don't pretend like you care about her image or how she looks or how she's perceived on TV or none of that. Talking about fight her off camera. Not with how can anything happen off camera when you got your camera phone out, recording everything? Just shut up, Robin. Just please. Wendy is like, she was physically assaulted twice, and instead you look at me and tell me I'm the antagonist. If anything, like she was like, if anybody was to get up right now and hit dumbass me across the head, Giselle under her breath, that was me. Girl, shut up. I might ask you to say nothing. The only person that they spoke to was Wendy, which was lopsided and that was whack. That was whack. Robin says that she's not justifying Mia's actions, even though she understands. Understand what? Understand what? Mia don't have no point of view in this, because understand, girl, what was wrong with you? What stance you standing on? Because you ain't have no reason to be throwing a drink on nobody. I don't understand these people. I don't understand these people. And she says they weren't friends as well, so she ain't got to stand up for her. Okay. All right. Karen was the person that was supposed to step in. Karen said, "Don't bring me in this. Don't bring me in this. You do not. I am not finna let you. What you not finna do is sit here and say that I'm responsible for what you trying to gaslight me." And Andy got to help her out. Andy like, was it gaslighting or did she throw gas on the fire? Karen say, "Okay, you right. I stand corrected. You threw gas on the fire." Everybody agrees that that's what she was doing. She was instigating it. We go to a question from the viewer, and it's it's directed at Robin. You said Sharice didn't hold you back from Wendy, and that was a lie. Production shows that was a lie. So what gives? She's asked, can you just acknowledge that if Sharice needed to physically restrain you from getting to Wendy, you were being a little aggressive. And again, she gonna stand on the fact that she ain't wrong. No accountability. You already know that. Her thing is, well, she told me to stand up, so I was standing up. Robin thinks that she can insult all of our intelligence by saying shit like that. She told me she kept saying stand up. No, she said stand in your truth. That doesn't mean get up out of your seat and walk in my direction. And you already know what that gives when you do it. Robin be trying to act like she ain't from that school. That's not what it, I don't know. What did I say? I don't know what I said. What did I say? She just said stand up, so I was standing up. Andy got to step in, because nah, girl, you're not doing this today. You're not doing this today. You were being aggressive. If you got up right now, I'm going to get up and stand in between you. Even if she's saying stand up, stand up, stand up like 20 times, yes. Even if she said, bitch, run up. Even if she said that, you run up, expect the unexpected. Okay? And you're not finna sit here and say that you aren't aggressive in that situation. Just like y'all wanted to say that Candace asked for it and she's aggressive. It's the same thing. You still can't do that. You still can't do that. It makes you just as much the aggressor as the person threatening the physical harm to you. Candace with that, drag me. Are you going to drag me? Even though she's not specifically asking for a dragging, it's still confrontational. It's still antagonistic. And so she probably shouldn't have been saying that if she wasn't ready for said dragging to commence. And Robin, you're not going to sit here and use the semantics and play in our faces like you weren't getting up to be aggressive, because that's what you were doing. So don't play. Let's not play. Let's not play, Robin. Anyway, she's so full of shit. Ashley, so you also flip-flopped a little bit when it came to the violence, because you when it came to Monique, you out here writing statements, but with this situation, you got Wendy's back. It's something different. And they flipped to the scene where she ambushed Candace, and this really has nothing to do with the Candace Monique situation, so I don't even know why we keep going back to that. But she says that everybody came to Candace's defense, and they did. Rightfully so. They did. She got beat up. Everybody should have been on Candace's side. Monique was wrong. Dead wrong. So Ashley shouldn't have been writing no damn statements, because Monique was wrong. She didn't need no character witnesses. And when it comes to this situation, yes, she's right. Nobody was coming to Wendy's defense. You know, Wendy really didn't have any support. She was kind of on an island. And so, two things are true. Because Monique was wrong and Mia wrong. But the problem is y'all ain't calling Mia. Y'all ain't trying to hold her accountable. Giselle was also a big contradiction. You know, she says that the situations are totally different. You know, Monique beat up Candace. With this situation, it was a drink toss. And Andy says, so remember when you just said how you felt about the way Chris made you feel and how you didn't take accountable for how he made you feel? Well, listen to her, because this is how she feels about a drink being thrown in her face. Giselle's bottom line is, well, I don't like her, so I really don't care what happens to her. Everybody like, ain't that about a bitch? That shows your moral compass and who you are as a person. Like, at your core, you're a bad person. You're a sucky human being, and you need some therapy. You need to go sit down with a therapist. Please take us to therapy with you next season. Because you need therapy. She need Dr. Francis from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Dr. Francis will get her told. Maybe, because Dr. Francis be giving it to the men. Be giving it to the men over there. Anyway, Wendy speaks and she's tearful. You know, she doesn't appreciate how the group treated her and how they reacted to this situation. It was fucked up. That's just all she got. She's tearful though. You know, and that hurt my feelings. Because it ain't right. And the fact that they don't care really hurts. You know, the fact that you can tell somebody you hurt me and they still look at you like, I don't like you. Sorry. It's so mean, girl. It's so mean, girl. It make you want to just... Anyway, Jacqueline. We break again, and Jacqueline, she backstage because she finna come out and shake the table. But when we come back, we have a colorism discussion. Andy says that they received a lot of feedback, and it's important that they revisit this conversation. Andy says, as a white man, he shouldn't be, leading the conversation, and they thought about bringing in a moderator, but they started, with production going to each cast member and getting their feedback on whether or not they wanted a moderator or not, how they wanted to go about having the conversation. And so they decided that they would have the conversation amongst themselves, without a moderator. And so Andy kind of gives them the floor. Candace, she leads the conversation. She doesn't think that her castmates are colorists, but she feels like the conversation needs to be had. I don't like that nobody wants to point fingers at the colorist in the room. I would have no issue with looking at Giselle and saying to her, you are a colorist. Do you realize that colorism is very nuanced, and you operate in a lot of those very nuanced colorist ways? Like how you treat Wendy, for instance. You are very mean to her. You've never given her a chance, and it is solely because she's darker complected and has the better life than you, and you feel like you want that life. And I want you to and it goes deeper than that, because just like Karen said, it's indoctrinated. I don't even think she realizes that she's this way. I really don't. I think that in her mind, she just dislikes this person. She doesn't even realize you dislike her because of her skin tone. That's why you dislike her. You just simply don't like her because she's dark skinned. I really want her to realize that. It shows in your actions. Like, you can say all day, I'm not a colorist. I don't care about what you're saying. Your actions show something different. Like, they just do. And that goes for a lot of the girls in the group. It's so indoctrinated that you don't realize it. You don't even realize it. Candace starts off by reading the definition, and they all agree that, you know, the definition is true, and that's what colorism is. Candace wants to pinpoint some instances where colorism has kind of reared, and we pull up the clip of Candace, you know, because she says, I'm the one that's deemed emotional. I'm the childish one. I'm the loud one. I'm the one that's going to cuss you out. I have all these labels on me. And we show that, you know, we show the clips of her, you know, throwing the butter knife and you know, getting into it with people. Then we flip to Robin, who has exhibited some of those same behaviors, and she's never received that way. It's just not received the same. And that's colorism. Like, the fact that you take it lightly for the lighter complected girl, but the dark skinned girl, no tolerance. Low tolerance or no tolerance. It is there. I don't understand why people are confused about this. But anyway, Giselle, and this is all she had to add. She wants to know how the emotions, how does that equate to skin color? Like, how do the two relate? Are you dumb? Candace is like, am I not speaking? Like, am I not clear? What do you mean? How do the two correlate? Aren't you a black woman? Don't you know what the angry black woman stereotype is? Yeah, so, okay, put black women together of all different hues, and it's still that very same thing within black spaces. The darker complected black woman is going to be the one that is deemed loud and aggressive over the lighter complected woman, because the one that's closer proximity to white is right. That is what we are taught. Light is right. White is right. And so because it's so nuanced. It's in the advertisement. It's in the magazines. It's on the TV. It's on the social media. It's everywhere showing you that the light skin is better than the dark skin. And you gonna sit up in my face and pretend like that's not what's happening. Like, that's not what's going on here. No, lady, no. You need to own it. You need to own that you exhibit those kind of behaviors and that you're going to work on it. You know, because not everybody knows. It's just like black people being prejudiced against other black people. It happens. It happens. Blame it on slavery. Blame it on Jim Crow. You know, like, blame it on all of that. Blame it on racism. Because that's where it stemmed from. You know, with them separating. And Karen, I'm so glad Karen spoke up, because, Giselle, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. We're not going to veer off the path. You know, Karen had to chime in and elaborate for her, for the girls that act like they don't understand. It's the separation with the darker complected people out in the fields and the light-skinned people working in the house, closer to massa, closer to whiteness, because they're closer to whiteness. Giselle, don't act like you don't get it. Giselle from the school days era. So she knows exactly what colorism is. And the fact that she really sat there like, you know, so aloof. She's just nonchalant. This is not what this is. She added nothing. She nor Robin added anything to the conversation. I was annoyed by that. And it was like, y'all are the two that operate in that bullshit the most. Not so much Robin. Robin is a hater. Robin is a hater. I'm not going to say she's colorist. Giselle is. We just going to flat out and say it. She the one. I don't even think Ashley is colorist. Ashley is an asshole, like she said, to everybody. She has had disagreements and confrontations with everybody in the group. So Ashley's also just an asshole. And she recognizes her privileges. I appreciated her for that. Candace did as well. Candace was crying. You know, she's like, that's all I want. Just acknowledge it. Don't pretend it's not happening. Don't gaslight me and make me out to be this crazy person that's grasping at straws when colorism is alive and well within the group. I don't like that. There are reviewers out there that can't see it either. And their excuse for it is, oh, it's the viewers doing it. No, it's not. It's not just the viewers. It's happening. It's time to acknowledge that it happens. That black people can be colorists. That's not a white person thing. They have a race that's a racism issue, and that's completely different than black people being colorist towards one another. That's a completely different issue. That's our issue, and that's some shit we gotta heal from due to the racism that we've experienced for the past 400 years. Oh, it's a long conversation, and I really wish that they would have spent more time on it. But I'm glad that they spent even just a little bit. I'm glad we touched on it, because it did feel like we just touched on it. Especially when not everybody wants to add their 2 cents. Mia could say that we all got work to do. She feels it hurts her feelings that people think she's colorist because she's raising a dark complected daughter. Giselle chimes in, me too. Well, we can't tell. We can't tell. We can't tell you raising daughters at all, honestly. But Mia's, she acknowledges the fact that, there's work to be done. There's work to be done across the board with everyone. But all this, I don't really think nobody's really colorist. Candace, don't lead with that. You know who you think is colorist. That's why you brought up them situations. So just go and say, stop walking on eggshells for that lady. She's a colorist. And that's just what it is. Anyway, Jacqueline joins the stage. And, we replay her friendship with Mia and the demise of the friendship. Jacqueline says she sees Mia for who she is, Mia basically wanted a minion, pretty much. Mia says that she just got overwhelmed when she joined the group. I just got, overwhelmed because, she just needed so much support. And Mia's like, let's just dive into that. Let's talk about the nanny situation. So the nanny was her sister who was already nannying for her. And since Mia don't have a village. And it was just such a little subtle read. Since I know she doesn't have a village, I offered my nanny to her that could help her nanny as well. So everybody could win. I don't know why she's trying to make it seem like she was doing for me when I was doing for her. Andy asked if Mia felt like she was, like an underling growing up in the house with Jacqueline. She says no. Jacqueline's parents were great to her. They were loving parents to both of them. She felt special as well. And, so that's why this is all ironic. He asked how the relationship is between Mia and Jacqueline's family now. And Jacqueline's like, kind of shaky. We know how it is with Jacqueline's sister. Jacqueline's sister be cussing her out over here on the YouTube. I think her name is Tita Talks. Yeah, Tita Talks. Tita Talk. Tita be talking, okay? Tita be over there dragging. She be over there dragging. But yeah, she say her mama didn't see it. Her mama hasn't watched, but other family members have, and they are disgusted with Mia because Mia been on here on that bullshit. She done got on TV and now she acting brand new. We already know what it gives, Jacqueline. You ain't even gotta tell us. Mia done sent all this, all these disparaging words about Jacqueline to a group chat. Now I don't know if this is some family group chat or if this is like the group chat with the ladies in the cast. But they show it, and she was basically telling her business about her being on food stamps and welfare. I mean, not welfare, but unemployment, and her house about to get foreclosed on. She living with her mama. Just all this bullshit. And that's supposed to be your best friend. They both got receipts, though. They both say they got receipts, Because Jacqueline want to know why you doing all of this when your business in shambles. But they got their respective receipts, and we're going to see them next week. I'm glad that the third part is going to be an hour and a half. So we get some good stuff to wrap this on up. Yeah, that's it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.